guys, welcome back to the Happy Criers React. My name is Chris and this is my gorgeous wife,
Daniela.
So this reaction video is actually very special. I mean, at least to us it is, because we're wearing the official, the Happy Criers React sweaters.
This deserves a dance.
No, they don't want to see that. It's fine, it's fine. For this reaction today, we are actually taking a trip back to Hogwarts for the very last time for the Harry Potter 20th anniversary special. This has been highly requested. As soon as we finished our Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 reaction, everybody was saying, no, you guys aren't done yet. You still have the reunion special. And we're so excited. We're so excited to react to this because I haven't even seen this. I know in the first reaction of Harry Potter, I mentioned to my wife a special Hagrid scene. However, I saw that, just scrolling Instagram. I saw that snippet. But in regards to the entire thing, I haven't seen it. So this is going to be a genuine first-time reaction for the both of us.
I'm excited to watch the reunion because we've seen them acting, but I feel like the reunion is more about how they felt doing this movie.
Yeah, it's a fair point, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to know their own perspective.
Yeah.
On like the acting, the storytelling, the cast, everything, I hope.
Well, even their journey and their personal lives throughout this franchise.
Right, yeah, that's really interesting because it's been so many years. You can see when Harry was just a little kid to when he was older. So it would be interesting to know how he felt and how his life changed. I'm excited to see all my favorite characters too.
Right.
Especially Brian.
Yeah.
And Snape, who became my favorite after the second part.
Very good point.
Luna, Neville. I'm also excited to see how much they've changed since they filmed the last movie.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I know they're probably been in different things, and like also seeing them come back to something that they did so many years ago. It's like nostalgia even for them.
Yeah, which is special. I mean, that's a special
That's why
moment.
It's special. Really?
Well, we've hyped ourselves up enough now. I mean, let's get into it. Let's get started. Oh, Neville with the glow up.
He had a
He's looking good.
Huge glow up.
He's looking good.
The letter. That's cute.
Yeah, that's
cute.
really good.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I do. Platform 9 3/4. Oh, Arthur.
Wow. Oh my god, that's amazing. I love how you're seeing everyone just come in and like interact with each other and you see a little bit of their character from the movie, but also who they really are.
Yeah, their real selves.
Yeah.
I love that. I was gonna say scene, but it's not. They're not acting, I guess. I love that moment with Bellatrix right there. I know that's not her actual name, but I'm just gonna call them by their characters' names.
Yeah.
But I love that moment because she seems like such a fun personality.
Yes.
Right? And then she just winks at the camera. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, she does seem really fun to be with.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. Imagine, that feels so whimsical. Wow, look at Malfoy. They look like your friends.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Emma Watson actually had a crush on him when they were like little kids filming.
Wow.
I love how Arthur looks, man. He looks styling. Man, this is making me happy.
Yeah, it's making me feel like I want to be part of it.
Yeah, and kind of like you're going back home.
Yeah.
In a way. There he is, the chosen one.
He couldn't know that at this very moment, people meeting in secret all over the country were holding up their glasses and saying in hushed voices, "To Harry Potter, the boy who lived."
So that must have been a piece from the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great to see you.
How you doing, dude?
How are you,
It's so nice to see you.
Oh, he was the director of the first two.
Oh.
Chris Columbus.
How did you end up doing Harry Potter?
I ended up doing it because my daughter Eleanor convinced me to read the books after I refused 3 times. Came out. I
Thank you,
said,
Eleanor.
I'll read these, finally. And then immediately I saw the movies. I just saw them. Then I had to fly to Edinburgh to meet Joe Rowling. Essentially said, "This is my vision." She said, "That's exactly the way I see the movie."
Wow, talk about like just a connection right off the bat.
Yeah.
A friend of mine at school had the first 2, and I went for a sleepover at his house. Well, Philosopher's Stone's there on the bookshelf. That's what we did. This whole sleepover.
At the time of reading, we instantly related to Fred and George because there aren't many twins in literature.
It's true, that's a good point.
The writing was so vivid, the characters so relatable.
One of the many reasons I admire J.K. so much is that millions who now read books who would never have lifted a book up in their lives.
That is so true. That I heard that too. That a lot of people that didn't read books read those books and then they fell in love with reading.
Absolutely. And I think it took a genius like J.K. Rowling to provoke that out of those children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't say she's not a genius. Like, this whole entire world she created with so much insane detail. You can't help but fall in love with it.
Yeah, and not just the world detail. The characters have so much background.
Absolutely.
And then in terms of casting, it was the search for Harry Potter.
The new Harry Potter film are looking for children to play the 3 main roles.
You'd have
oh my god,
millions.
Imagine that.
You'd have millions of kids.
Imagine that. Why didn't you audition?
I wasn't in the UK.
Could've...
I was chilling in Timmy's. Like a true Canadian.
You missed your opportunity.
My double.
They'd let us all mill, sort of congregate. So they seemingly walked away. And of course, while there's still one gentleman holding a boom mic straight over our heads. And this little girl asked me, "What's that?" I think he even said, "It's a mic, duh." I remember it because it was Emma.
I think the biggest pressure at the beginning was who was going to be Harry Potter.
We couldn't find Harry.
That's her.
That is her.
I was in my hotel room in London, and I said, "This is Harry Potter. This is the kid we've been looking for months."
Oh, you want to pause it? I didn't know that Daniel Radcliffe was acting even before Harry Potter. So he's been acting literally like his entire life.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. And I thought he auditioned for it. And then he got... Well, he obviously auditioned, but I thought that he wasn't recruited.
Yeah, like you thought he was just a no-name kid going to audition. Yeah, I did too, honestly. Mm-hmm. And I think it's so cool, like what off of Draco just said when Emma asked him about the boom mic and he was like, "They're recording us, duh." Like, that's a complete Draco move.
Yeah, that is true. I mean?
So it's so amazing. The casting for this franchise was just unbelievably accurate.
And action.
That's a dragon egg.
What is it?
That's what that is.
What is that?
Dragon egg.
That's so cute.
Guys, he looks so much like our son. It's insane.
Yeah.
He does. He looks so much like our son. Like, him just looking up. Like, obviously, our son's not that old yet. But, yeah, he looks so much like him. It's insane.
Yeah. It's so cute. That's why those scenes, like, especially that scene of him, like, looking up and then smiling, I was like, that breaks my heart.
Yeah, exactly.
It was very emotional, actually, seeing this kid sitting there talking, and I just thought, yep, that's him.
That would be very emotional, like from JK's point of view. Just like she poured her heart and soul into this, and then to see it like come to life in your main character in front of you, that would be very emotional.
Yeah, and her story too, how hard it was for her, how she wrote the books and what she was going throughout writing the book.
Exactly, yeah.
So then seeing how people get so excited and so passionate about the books, and then seeing people wanting to film your movie and make it seeing a whole crew wanting to recreate your ideas,
your vision
into a movie, and seeing the whole set and your the actors right in front of you, that must be insane.
Rupert and Emma were very easy to cast because they felt like they jumped off the page.
Remember, guys, get closer to her as she finds out the information. And action.
I checked this out first term for a bit of light reading. This is light. Shut up. Honestly, don't you two read?
Look at her face.
We'd been out of the studios, they told us we got the parts, and they were like, cool, so we're announcing you've got the parts. There is now going to be a lot of media outside your house.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've never had anything happen to me like this before.
Hermione made complete sense to me. That's me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think I'm scarily like my character.
He is.
How do you feel about becoming famous?
Be cool.
Imagine, like, you're a kid. They tell you got a part in a movie that is going to be very, very famous. And then you have a bunch of people that are older than you. They're adults asking you questions because they want to know how you feel.
Oh, yeah, that'd be surreal. Yeah.
That'd be scary. I'd be very nervous.
Yeah.
But also exciting that, like, adults are paying attention to you and they want to know what you are feeling, what you're thinking.
Looking back, I am sort of amazed at the fact that I wasn't ever, like, completely overwhelmed by it.
Dan, when you turn away from her this time, turn away. Grab hold.
Oh my god. Just dealing with all of those kids, you heard the shh. Like, that would be so difficult to film, and you're like, hey, like, please stop doing. Hey, you over there? Yeah, Harry, just turn for a minute. Wrong.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, if you're with a bunch of kids that are your age and you're in such a place that looks so magical, it would be so much fun. Not like going to school, but even better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that first day of school where you see all your friends again, and
yeah, I can see myself just running around.
Just a bunch of kids slapping each other.
And for the other viewers, get a mouse trap. Don't put it on your nose.
Columbus had worked with kids a lot, and he was terrific with them. He used to go down on his knees to talk to them and huddle around so nobody could hear.
Aww.
Wow.
That's cute.
You know what? That is so important to talk to kids on their level. Like, not talk down to them. So I think they're really painting a beautiful picture that Chris made it a very friendly, very welcoming environment for children to feel at ease.
Yeah.
Which is so important for a kid's movie, right?
Yeah, and like he said, they let them play and feel, and it made their jobs harder, but the kids felt comfortable.
Exactly.
It would have been horrible, and you would have seen the tension if they just were like, okay, you're working,
yeah, like cut it out.
Yeah, like I know you're a kid, but this is work. Like that would have been
brutal. Yeah.
I don't think any of the kids had the capability of understanding the gravity of who they were dealing with.
Which means he knows how to get past Fluffy. And with Dumbledore gone...
Good afternoon.
The British royalty of the acting world.
What are you going to say for yourself?
I swear, I don't know how it happened!
Hear them interact and hear the quickness of people.
The adult actors came in. Like Robbie Coltrane.
He was such a kid, like... just so much fun.
He loved making us laugh, and he was incredibly good at it.
Tried absolutely everything. I've tried creams, I've tried jellies. My husband is threatening to leave me.
He's just like one big kid.
Yeah.
Well, we spent so much time together.
I know.
I mean-
I spent more time with you than I did with my own children.
Oh my god.
I visited the set. They walked me through the Great Hall, which was mind-blowing.
I wonder why J.K. Rowling, when she's on the screen, it says filmed in 2019. You see that in the top right corner? So I wonder if like maybe she wasn't able to make it.
One of my favourite moments on set ever was the moment when all the floating candles started burning through the ropes.
Real candles that were really lit on the fishing line from the ceiling.
And I feel like there can be air, like no one can breathe, because imagine you blow one and then all the...
Oh yeah, the domino effect.
Yeah.
The hardest scene to shoot was Quidditch, and the audience had to understand the rules immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
This team has 7 players, 3 chasers.
That's your favorite player.
Yeah. Wood.
Rowling basically did a rule book for us, a Quidditch rule book, explaining every detail.
That's what I mean.
She created a whole game.
That's what I'm saying. She created an entire sport with literally all the rules in them, and then creating a rule book for the movie set so they can actually get it all right.
Yeah. It's not
It's
even
insane.
like, oh yeah, well I just mentioned that in the book and it's sort of like a silly game, but it doesn't. No, she was like,
yeah.
here you go.
This is the real deal. Here's the rule book. Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, that must have been fun filming
Yeah.
that.
And the first film is very storybook, very inviting. It's like
It's lovely and...
Right, that's what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
I melt a man's face.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, even the way Harry committed murder was kid-like. Weasleys! I'm excited.
I love it. Their house just looks so... and I know we said it before, but so cozy and welcoming.
Oh my god, yeah. Absolutely.
I love to live there.
And like, I would take this over like a mansion or
Yeah.
anything. You're right, because it's so cozy and warm and yeah.
The thing about the boroughs I remember is that it changed all the time. It sort of expanded and contracted. One minute there was a huge fireplace with flue powder, and then there was...
That was an amazing transition.
That was.
A living, breathing set that changed. I feel like being a Weasley is the best part of being in Harry Potter.
Julie's brilliant to work with.
Aww.
Julie Walters, who played my mother, Mrs. Weasley, was just so wonderful. She just was like the perfect mother figure.
Julie Walters and Mark Williams, they were like my second family. They were always kind of staying in character, and they would have this kind of... they would bounce off each other.
See? It's hard to say it.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's a great catch. I didn't even click that he was trying to say Dumbledore.
Even the actors have trouble saying it. They could call him Brennan. Like me.
Dumbledore.
Who did?
Dumbledore.
Making him say it still.
You see that motion where they are very inclusive, and then you see the complete opposite with the Malfoys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Draco, play nicely. Mr. Potter.
I was first aware of Harry Potter because everybody was reading the books on the tube. Everywhere I went.
He looks the exact same.
He does, but do you know what? In the second movie where we fully get introduced to Lucius, you know, you didn't really think much of him. You're like, okay, he's obviously a bad guy, whatever. But, I mean, by the end of the series, I am so impressed by his acting. He is a very good actor.
Right.
The way he was able just to portray fear, like intense fear from Voldemort, and just how he was belittled as a man, and the little tics he did where Voldemort would reach for something and he like just kind of amazing actor.
Yeah.
I'm convinced I ended up playing Lucius because I didn't want to. I was about to play Captain Hook in Peter Pan, and I thought, well, I don't want to play two children's villains. And I read through Gritted Teeth as Deeply Bitter. They asked me to play Lucius, and thank God they did.
Dare you?
The point of him being in the story to me was to explain why Draco was such a horrible, heartless, sadistic bully at school.
Absolutely, it all starts from home.
Yeah.
It all starts from home.
If your dad is a psychopath wielding a cobra cane about, you're probably not going to be the friendliest geezer.
It's true.
Yeah. I like that he's so aware of his character. Like, there is no, in the movies, you don't see a lot of, you assume why Draco is the way he is, but you don't see a lot of story or background about him. You just see his parents and you just assume. But I like that he knows so much about Draco. Like, he really got into character, and he said he's proud of his parents. You obviously are that way because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, one of our viewers actually commented that the Half-Blood Prince is Draco's movie. And do you know what? I agree with them. I think that was a very clever insight into that movie, just because it does show you another side to Draco, that he's not just this little brat that everybody hates. He's actually in turmoil. He actually hates his life in that time.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely, I agree with everything you said and what our viewers said as well.
The very first scene that I shot was actually cut and it's on the deleted scenes. I went,
Don't touch anything, Draco.
but I didn't know how sharp the teeth were. And they went right into little Tom's hands.
What?
And his eyes welled with tears. I'm so sorry, I didn't realize how sharp they were and how heavy it was. And he went, no, it's all right, it's good for the scene.
Good sport.
Yeah. He actually seems like, I know he portrayed and played this evil role, but he actually seems like such a sweetheart.
He'd be this evil father, and then they say cut, and he'll come and give you a cuddle and say, oh, did I hit you too hard? Did I hit you too hard?
I've got this part. It's an elf in Harry Potter. And the squeals of joy.
He matches Dobby perfectly.
Yeah, he does, honestly. You're right.
And he goes, thank you, Lucy, and I swung my leg out. And I stepped down and I swung my stick. And Chris goes, cut! Can we clean the floor where Jason slipped, please? He said, well, what happened? And I said, I kicked Dobby down the stairs.
Oh, see, he's such a good actor.
Wow.
The imagination.
Yeah.
To do that even before the director even says anything. You're like, no, I'm going to kick him. He's going to be right there, and I'm going to boot him off.
Yeah. To get in character that much.
Master has presented Dobby with clothes.
I love that scene.
Best part of the movie.
I know.
Hello.
Gary Oldman.
Who is... That is Sirius Black, that is.
Sirius Black is an essential character for Harry. It's part of Joe's themes of don't judge a book by its cover.
I was aware of Harry Potter, but it was very much a sort of kids thing. And then they were taking a slightly darker approach, and the book was interesting.
The first two, Harry is still a child. Nevertheless, when he turns 13, there's a big cloud that overshadows everything around Harry.
I remember even like watching it with you, that was your big takeaway from it. Like, wow, this got so much darker, and you loved it. You loved the third one.
Yeah, because like you said, with the first two, it felt very kid world, like a very kiddie movie. And then with the third, you're like, oh, okay, I see where this is going and I like it.
Right.
The descriptions that J.K. Rowling has of the Dementors are very scary. And I really wanted to convey the sense that the Dementors, what they do is they suck all the joy away.
The first person I remember being like in awe of when they came in was Gary.
I remember
Oldman.
that. I remember you giving me the Gary chat.
Right.
Yeah, you were like, listen, Emma, you need to be cool.
Stuff in the Shrieking Shack at the end. I feel like me, Rupert, and Emma were just like watching tennis in that scene, just being like, this is acting, guys.
This is the big leagues.
The one and only Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
David Thewlis. You, Emma, Rupert.
It's really nice of you to include me, Emma, and Rupert in that group.
He's very humble.
He is
Daniel
very
Radcliffe.
humble. He also seems very funny, and like I would like to be friends with him because the way that he was like in the first moment or scene that he said, "Oh, you were shorter when you were here before," and he was like slightly shorter. Like he seems like like he just comes off easy for
natural.
Him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kill him! Wait! I did my waiting! 12 years of it!
I have never done a scene with such an amazing cast in my life.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
All-star cast.
And it was so much fun. It's an in which a lot of things are at stake.
I wish I'd had the whole picture. I don't know whether you were, because you were Harry Potter,
Just Rickman.
you had a...
Rickman did, that was it.
How did he work that one?
He very, very early said to Joe, he was like, I think I need to know what happens.
He just said, you know what? I'm not waiting. I'm Alan Rickman. You're going to tell me right now, JK. Apparently.
That's insane.
And he never told Chris, never told anyone. Chris would literally say to him, why are you doing that like that? He said, I'll tell you later.
He would say that. Especially that he didn't tell anyone. Like, imagine keeping that secret in.
From the director.
Yeah. That's insane. Not even the director knows what happens.
Yeah, and like, what if Chris was like, you know what? Tell me right now or you're off the set. And then Alan Rickman was like, no.
He would.
Listen up. He wanted to get to know us. So he set us this exercise where he asked us to write an essay in character.
Then after about sort of a half a side of A4, I was like, I feel like you've pretty much covered everything.
Of course, Emma writes like 12 pages, like beautifully written.
Rupert didn't deliver anything. Rupert, where's your assignment? It says, well, I thought that Ron wouldn't do it.
That's true.
Rupert is Ron.
Yeah, that is such... Wow, that is brilliant. And it just shows how the casting, I said it once, I'll say it again, the casting was perfect.
It was perfect.
Because Ron would absolutely do that. And Rupert did it out of laziness, but then he covered his ass by saying, no, that's how Ron would do it, obviously.
But it's true, he would.
It's true, though. That's amazing. I'm sorry, guys, for laughing so hard, but that was unexpected to me. I thought that was amazing.
It was like a family, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It more than any other experience.
With the fourth film, we wanted a British director. We wanted something quite theatrical.
Thank you very much.
The fourth book is the biggest of them. It's about 900 pages. It's a doorstop. And I thought, if it's really going to nail the little darlings to their seats, it has to have this great big energetic core to it.
Mike said, okay, so I think you guys would be really annoyed with each other. I think you should have a bit of a fight about this. Mike just came over and said, no.
Okay, who wants to fight?
And like an idiot, I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, of course, I was a tubby 60-year-old gent at that stage. Really shouldn't have done it.
And so he dived on me and like just went like this.
And cracked a couple of ribs.
Oh my God!
I miss this movie.
Yes, absolutely. And guys, I got a bunch of flack for saying this when we did the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire reaction. This is my favorite movie. The Goblet of Fire is my favorite movie. You guys can come after me all you want. I've heard it all already. But it's not going to change my mind. This one is the best one, in my opinion. Now, I'm basing this off of the movies, not of the books. But to me, it checks off everything. It checks off the coming of age, like they were just talking about, the teenage romances, the action, the huge twist with Voldemort at the end. Oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, seeing the movies again, I kind of want to watch them all over again.
Re-react to them?
In The Goblet of Fire, that film is just all about teenagers, having crushes for the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
They just mirrored all those kind of awkward phases you go through as a teenager.
I'm so glad she said that, because you said that too, and when we reacted to it, you said they really show the awkwardness. Like, it's
Absolutely.
not, it doesn't feel movie-like. You kind of feel even cringy.
Absolutely, and that's what it is to be a teenager. You do a lot of cringy things.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of the scenes and I was like, eh.
Yeah, so like a big part of it is nostalgia. Like I already explained the story of why I love this movie, so I'm not going to explain it again. But other than the nostalgia part, I think the director just did an amazing job in showcasing, yeah, they are in the wizarding world, but these are still teenagers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Why do they have to travel in packs?
Oh, now I want to watch this movie again.
The Yule Ball is first and foremost a dance.
Maggie's right in the middle, and she says, right, I'm going to teach you to dance. Of course, she picks Rupert.
Place your right hand on my waist.
What? I remember that.
It's great.
I didn't really know. I'd never danced with a lady before, so it was kind of a very new thing.
Emma obviously looked beautiful and was in an incredible dress. And me and Rupert looked like, I don't know, Austin Powers mates.
I think for the first time, Harry and Ron, particularly Ron, see Hermione as a young woman.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Lucky man.
Nothing has ever happened romantically with us. We just love each other.
That's funny. Nothing has ever happened between us, but we just love each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, right? How she went on that 10-minute speech about how she loves Leo so much with all of her heart and she would die without him. And her husband is in the crowd too.
Yeah. I cast Ray Fiennes because he's one of the most potent actors of his generation.
wow.
I said, Martha, I don't know about this Harry Potter thing. Voldemort, what's that? What?
You've got to do it!
Don't you understand?
I know he's been human, but he's become a snake-like thing. So there was the voice. Breath on the breath. Harry Potter.
Wow.
Man, he's amazing. Just to even watch him explain his method is captivating.
The fact that there is so much more that you don't see to his acting.
Yeah.
Like, you just think, oh, that's cool. He's a great actor. But even the voice, the way he talks, the pauses between each word, and the way he moves his body. Wow.
Yeah, and like what he was saying, like a breath on a breath, and how he was more snake-like than human now. So he kind of talks more like a snake and he stretches it out. And wow, that's amazing.
I don't think I could ever do that. Like, they are very professional, talented people.
I felt strong. It felt powerful. It felt evil.
One of the people that you assume is going to be very important in the story is Cedric Diggory. Cedric is killed.
Kill the spare! Cedric!
And then he realizes that the kid is dead and he howls like a dog.
This is my boy!
That scene, man, it makes you tear up.
And suddenly you realize that this movie is not about life, it's about death.
That's a great way to put it.
The three of them, they're in adversity, and that forges friendships.
I really like how the reunion's filmed, because it's not just, it doesn't feel like a documentary.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like the movie all over again, and it has that magical feeling when you see the words and the way they're speaking and the music. It really doesn't feel like those documentaries.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you.
It's so nice of you to let us do this in your house.
Okay, now you can be Harry Potter.
Get it?
She's hilarious.
And let's race, okay? On your mark, set, go.
Oh, God.
We're snogging down here.
Oh my gosh, he's so just joke after joke.
Zany, yeah.
When I was first offered it, Jo sent me a secret message saying, like, there might not be much on the page, but she's going to do something significant. So I had to sort of construct a reason for why she should hurt people. It makes her feel powerful.
It's me.
Wow.
She was unhinged, man.
Amazing actress.
I killed you, didn't I?
What an opening.
Yeah.
By the time we get to Order of the Phoenix, the world is becoming more political. We needed a director who could handle that in an entertaining way. David Yates works so well with actors, really pushes them in all the right way.
David and the studio spoke to me about was Emma is not sure she wants to come back.
Really?
What?
People definitely forget what she took on and how gracefully she did it. Darren and Rupert, they had each other. I had my cronies. Whereas Emma was not only younger, she was by herself.
Oh, wow.
But you considering pulling out? I never really spoken to you about this.
Yeah, I think like it got to a tipping point when you were like, this is kind of forever now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we never really spoke about it. I guess we were just kind of going through it at our own pace.
The fame thing had finally hit home in a big way.
Wow.
Yeah, it changes your life forever.
Forever.
The fans genuinely wanted you to succeed.
I'm just very proud to be a part of something that means so much to so many.
This really shows what seeing people around their age trying to practice doing the one and wearing their ropes. It kind of reminds me of what you said, that you grow up with these characters and you go through similar things that they're going through. You can tell that it's true. A lot of people felt that way.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's the reason why so many people are diehards, because when these movies came out, especially if you were around the same age as them, like you said, you were going through those teenage cringy moments and you could relate to them on that. Or you're going through extreme hardships and you feel completely isolated. Well, in Order of the Phoenix, Harry felt completely isolated and alone. And so you're kind of just going through that with them, which creates the bond even deeper.
Yeah.
The first part of the audition is this crazy open call. Literally anyone can come.
No experience necessary.
I remember him talking to me, and I kept forgetting that I have to talk back to him because I'm so used to watching him on a screen. I kind of think that contributed to the whole Luna Lovegood vibe because she is a bit spacey. The movies kind of gave people permission to accept parts of themselves.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Everyone felt more like they belonged by witnessing these characters that didn't belong.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good way to explain it.
Very well put.
I tell you, I've missed your company.
Did you? Oh, thank you.
That's for sure.
Did you get anything? Because I stole quite a lot.
Did you? Reassured by that, because I was definitely trying to steal my wand. If I had, I probably would have lost it by now somewhere.
You know they don't work, Tom.
What?
I love her.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Please let me help you.
I don't want your help. Don't you understand? I have to kill you. He's gonna kill me.
Such a great actor, too.
Absolutely.
That scene.
We were able to give him the opportunity to explore a far more complex and interesting journey.
If we can get just 1% of empathy or sympathy for him, then we'll have done our job.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To my mind, Draco is the hero. Harry's always going to do the right thing. Never really any dilemma for him. Draco breaks the chains of this terrible family.
Wow. You know, that is really true.
Yeah.
Harry's always gonna do the right thing. You just know. But Draco is breaking that boundary between his family, the pressure, the Death Eater pressure, and trying to break through that.
Yeah, he's trying to break the generational destruction and the evilness. Absolutely.
Yeah. And trying to, I guess, decide for himself, be his own person, but I really like that he said that, because you don't really see it. You just think, oh, he's just a bully and he just comes from the family. But you can see in that scene that he's really trying.
No, I completely agree with you. I just, sometimes, like we said in the Deathly Hallows Part 2, our reaction to it, we did say, you know, sometimes it's really hard to feel bad for Draco, just because he does go out of his way sometimes to be a jerk. He really does go out of his way to do it. So in those moments, you're like, oh, just shut up. But in the grand scheme of things, he's a person who's trying to break the mold. Exactly. He's trying to break the mold that's been set by his father.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's obviously amazing to be back, but it's like it's so, I guess, like shocking that so many people that we both thought would be around for much longer, like Helen and Alan and Richard.
So Alan Rickman, Severus Snape, did pass away before this. So that's what she was just saying.
Wow, he looks so young. I was really hoping to see him in this.
I know, me too.
I know I ought not to be here.
I can't believe she passed away too.
Yeah, she did in Peaky Blinders, actually. Right before their last season, she passed away.
She looks so young.
Yeah, I know.
Come.
I feel lucky to have worked with her.
She taught me a lot.
She has that mom vibe.
She does.
Alan Rickman never talked to me like I was a child. He always took my thoughts and opinions very seriously.
That's an amazing thing to do.
Yeah.
To take a child's opinions and thoughts seriously and give them that validation.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, no, what you're saying makes sense. Like, let's talk about it. Not, shut up, kid.
Yeah. I like that.
A little intimidated by him, his precision, his expert delivery of lines, and
me too.
two actors can relish metaphorically fencing with each other. Alan was a magician.
Wow.
These films had a very different feel. We were away from Hogwarts. The tone was a lot darker. It felt like a different film.
Yeah.
The scene that I thought was going to be really awkward and I wasn't sure about at all, which was us doing our dance. That's one of my favorite scenes from the whole of the series.
Yeah. Oh, me too. That's such a beautiful scene.
Yeah. I really like that scene.
Oh my god, yeah.
I love Ron and Hermione's romance and the way that sort of just bubbles away. The audience are desperate to see these two kiss. It's almost like prepping them for a major sports event.
And I was just really scared we were never going to get it because we just couldn't take it seriously. I was going to kind of have to be the one to kind of make this thing happen because Rupert was not going to.
And Rupert's, I could almost on that first take, I saw Rupert's face explode with surprise because he thought it's only the first take.
That must seem very weird and crazy.
Yeah. But the thing that Harry Potter did for me, both as a story and as an actor in it, was that it helped me to find at first what I'm not. Harry's heart did beat for us, for all of us. Which therefore, by extension, found what I am.
Wow.
I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if Dan just grabbed Rafe and pulled him off this tower?
Come on, Tom. Let's finish this the way.
That scene, remember?
That scene was amazing.
As well as the physical challenge of making the films, there was that small pressure of thinking, you're the one who's going to finish this. It has to go out on a high. It has to be meaningful.
Yeah, that's pressure too.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even more than the first one.
It's your first day. How does it feel?
It feels absolutely fantastic.
Preparation. Finally happening. Okay, get back to work. People need to pamper you.
Wow.
I feel like I lost track of who I was and who the character was. Like, it was weird things, even my name didn't feel like my name.
Wow. That's deep.
That is really deep. I mean, imagine you from being a kid to being an adult. You're playing this character every day. You must feel like you've lost a little bit of yourself.
Yeah, and the lines just get blurred, like he said, where you don't know, okay, is this what I like to do, or is this what Ron likes to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I just liking this because Ron likes this? And it all gets blurred and confused.
Yeah.
It's very deep. Wow. It'll be such a journey for them to untangle themselves from that character. Like, that probably took, I wouldn't be surprised to hear it took years for them to untangle themselves and learn who they are, like what Daniel was saying.
Yeah. But I feel like the character, a little bit of the character always stays inside of you.
Yeah. True enough. True enough.
When we were all wrapping up those final scenes, one of the last shots we did,
we were diving past the camera and landing on this huge crash mat.
It was such a metaphor for what was actually happening.
And now they're traveling into a world without Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That very last scene. The very last scene.
All three of us were, like, utterly devastated.
It's so ingrained in me as well, like I measure my life with these movies. Someone says like, oh, when did you pass your driving test? I'm like, Order of the Phoenix.
I have found it an extraordinary world to be involved with.
There's something about those, the escapism you find, the healthy form.
Wow.
I think is kind of what Harry Potter does.
So you could be watching it in 50 years' time. Easy. I'll not be here, sadly, but... but Hagrid will.
Oh.
My God. He knew exactly what he was saying.
Yeah.
The crew on these films were unbelievable. There are people on these films that are foundational to who I am. As a person and an actor.
After all this time. Always.
Okay, guys, that was Harry Potter, the 20th anniversary reunion special. Tell me your thoughts on it.
I have so many thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I love seeing the real people behind these characters.
Yeah.
Because I did inspect some of them, like Malfoy, the dad. What was his name again?
Oh, Lucius.
Lucius, being such a sweetheart.
Right.
Draco being so humble and approachable, easygoing. Bellatrix being like the funniest person in the room.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And she's so evil in the films, but she's so funny, and she's like the light in the room.
Yeah,
which
she
is
is.
so opposite to her character.
I would love to just hang out with her.
Yeah.
It seems like a ball.
Yeah. She does seem like the kind of person who want to go out on like a Friday night.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny that Harry wrote, I wish he was 10 years older.
Yeah.
He was shooting his shot.
Hey, you can't blame the boy.
And seeing how these films affected them as well as it affected other people, that were, how they said they grew up with this, and how he said, when they asked me when I passed my driver's test, it was during the Order of Phoenix.
That's crazy to use that as a measure of your life.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And like I said, it's 10 years of your life, so
Yeah.
it really does start like when you're a kid to an adult. And like Harry said, they watch me, I've known these people for like 7 years, and now they're gonna watch me kiss. It's
Yeah.
like, I absolutely love that they brought to light Snape and the first Brian and all these people that were there when the movies were made.
Right.
And that last line is so special after all these years. And then Snape, with his normal Snape voice, always. Like, that was a perfect ending. I was like, oh, how are they gonna end this? And is it just gonna be them talking? That was a perfect ending.
It was. I agree with you completely.
And then when they mentioned In Memory Of, and they had him taking the lights and then people raising their wands. Wow. How they told this too, this story. It didn't feel like a documentary where you're like, oh, that's kind of rough, or do you feel like you're watching a documentary? This felt again like we're brought back to their world, and we were going through it again and hearing their stories about it, and it just felt that little magical feeling again. This is your first time watching something Harry Potter related on our channel, so how do you feel?
Well, it felt amazing to watch that. I mean, overall, this was such a magical... I think we've used the word magical a million times.
You can use a shot game.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely, you could. But yeah, it's been just magical. Take another shot. Yeah, this special was... I'm so glad you guys suggested it to us. It was so cool seeing what you said, the contrast between the actor and the character. Like,
Yeah.
Lucius seemed like the biggest sweetheart. Like, he would give you his winter coat if it was -50 and you didn't have one on. But then his character was despicable, mean, just downright awful. And then Voldemort, the way he just explained his character and explained his method on acting like his character.
Right, that is a good point.
Yeah, the breath on breath, and you kind of have to talk like a snake, and then he did it quickly for us. Just a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, I love seeing that transition between his normal self and then explaining how he got into
Tom.
How he got into Tom. I was like, wow, you can see him slowly transitioning to him.
And he really like dissected Tom as a character.
Yeah, and how you can tell that just there's so much more. Like, you think they're acting, and you get into the movie and you get into the story and you're like, oh, okay, it's really good. But then you hear what they have to go through to get into this character and act the way you see it. It's like there's so much work behind it.
So your guys' comments throughout our entire journey of Harry Potter, how rich the information is, the facts, how deep the details actually go within each and every character, has convinced us, and we are finally going to do it. We're going to read the books. This is our official statement. We are going to start reading the Harry Potter books. We're already looking into buying them. And yeah, we're very excited to find out, hidden facts that were only in the books, and so much more detail that comes along with that. Especially with the comments, like I said, you guys left for us. It just intrigued us even more. So thank you for that. And yeah, this has just been such a beautiful ride. And we won't forget it. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, it just shows us wanting to read the books now. It just shows how much we love doing this reaction with you guys, and how we choose the things we react to very carefully, because we know that we love watching movies, so we're gonna get really into them.
Yes, exactly. That's a very good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, like, it's been a magical journey. Take a shot again. Because you've always wanted me to watch these movies, and I've always been like, oh my god. But now that I've watched them, I now want to read the books and watch them again. Like, every time I watch a scene, I was like, I want to watch that movie again.
Right?
So, no, thank you for all you guys' support and joining us in this journey.
But wait, there's more. The deleted scenes for Deathly Hallows Part 2 is coming up right now.
You sure that's hers?
Positive.
How will we know what it is when we get in there?
I'll know.
How?
I don't know how to explain it.
You're leaving, aren't you?
In the morning.
And Griphook?
He's coming with us.
Listen, I know goblins. If you've struck any kind of bargain with Griphook, you must be exceptionally careful to live up to it. If you don't, he won't be forgiving.
All right, like, I kind of see why they deleted that scene. Not that it was bad or anything, but I think they were just... It was just extra information not really needed in the movie. I like how Harry explained it by not really explaining it. He was just, I'll know when I find the Horcrux. I can't explain it. Which makes sense, right? Because he hears a noise that kind of signifies to him. So that would be kind of hard to explain to somebody.
Right. And I like that you saw more of can't remember his name, but more of these Weasley.
Yeah.
Because in the other movies, like, he came very, it was like a surprise, and he didn't have much to say, so it was kind of random. But now he said more, which adds a little bit of value to his character.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I agree with you. I feel like this scene didn't add a lot of value. It was more of like you knew where the dress came from for Hermione, but it's not something you really needed to know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The sky has lost a star. My father used to say that when a child died.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Funny how Mr. Dobby knew exactly where to find us.
I like that she calls him Mr. Dobby.
Yes, yeah, I like that too.
A lot of
respect on our boy's name.
Yeah.
Hogwarts? It's not the place you left, you know. It's not the same.
Neither am I.
I like that.
Mic drop, man.
What do you think? I wouldn't know you if I didn't know you.
I like that, actually. I like that moment between Harry and Ron. I don't think you get that much of it between them in the movies. Like, that's just banter between two buddies.
Yeah.
You know, pulling the facial hair on his face. Like, that's something I would do to one of my buddies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't have a lot of moments like that in the actual movies. Like, obviously, they have some moments where they laugh together. You know, obviously, they're best friends. But nothing like that. Like, that's some
more
real...
intimate?
More intimate and more, like, just teasing each other.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
You gonna tell me what that is?
You're gonna think I'm mental. Once when I've looked into it, I think I've seen Dumbledore.
Bloody hell, that's a sight.
Well, how do I look?
I found that moment between Harry and Luna a little awkward.
Yeah, seemed like they didn't really know what to say.
Yeah.
And I really don't like that because that's not the relationship. They're always very kind and warm and joke. They have a different type of humor, but they joke together and they're very close. I mean, he named his daughter after her, so I didn't really like to see that awkwardness between them. I'm glad that part of the scene wasn't in. Also, seeing Dobby again, that just hurts. That's just like a dagger through your heart. So I'm okay not seeing that again. I like remembering Dobby the way Dobby is. Mr. Dobby. I like Luna said that. But I really like that part where where Harry said, "It's not the same."
Yes, that's a big thing.
Yeah, and she said, "I'm not the same either."
Yeah, that was a good, not comeback, but that was a good statement.
Yeah, I like that. And I also like that Ron asked about the mirror because I don't think they ever brought it up until the very last scene where you see it in the house and now like you put the pieces together. So that would have given us a little bit of a how did he see Brian, like what does that mean, and a little bit of more mystery.
Yeah.
But you also find out later on and you still have the mystery of why is he holding that mirror and what is that. So I guess it wasn't that important. It was a little bit of cushion, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you hear from the others much? From the Order?
The Order's finished. You know who has won. Whoever says otherwise is fooling themselves.
We need to get into Hogwarts tonight. Your brother gave me a job to do.
Did he now? Nice job. Easy. Piece of advice. My brother's dead. I would forget about any job he gave you.
Professor Dumbledore cared about Harry very much.
It was the people my brother cared about that tended to get hurt.
Wow. So with this deleted scene, it was pretty much the exact same dialogue as in the movie. However, Dumbledore's brother was way more aggressive in this one than he was in the actual movie.
Yeah, you can see in the movie that there's something that didn't work out between them and they kind of butted heads.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't have the best relationship, but with this scene, it just seems like hatred.
Yeah, like anger, just pure anger.
Yeah, towards anyone that mentions him or follows him or says anything about him. So, yeah, and saying like, well, if you care so much about what he said you should do, then you see where he is now, like he's dead. It's kind of more intense than it was in the movie.
Exactly, yeah. Which I don't think would have played well. I think how they did it in the actual movie was a way better choice. Because of the exact same thing of what you said, where it kind of made you assume, okay, they clearly had issues and they weren't close that much at all when Brian died. maybe even decades before he died. But with this deleted scene, that wouldn't have fit so well, I believe, because of just how angry and aggressive he is.
Yeah.
It would be like, okay, why is he even helping Harry then if he hates Dumbledore this much?
Yeah, and I don't think they ever mentioned in the movie why they had this relationship. I don't think they ever, did they?
No, you're right. No, they hinted at the loss of, I say Dumbledore, but I'm trying to say Brian for you. They hint at Brian's sister and how they lost her, but nothing with their relationship as brothers, no.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Well, I like that you can see more of their relationship, and you can see that Harry's like there to support her, like saying, sort of with that, like, everything's okay, I'm here. But I think it would have taken a little bit out of the surprise of when Snape was saying, what was he saying? If someone sees Harry or something?
Yeah, if someone sees Harry and says nothing, then they'll be punished equally.
Yeah, and then Harry's there.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have taken a little bit out of that, because if you see Ginny, and she's in the scene, if you see her, you know that Harry's right beside her, so...
Yeah, so when Harry walks out, you'd be like, well, yeah, I just saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also like seeing more of their relationship, which kind of adds to just seeing them together. There's not a lot of scenes like that, so mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, I could definitely see why they deleted it, just because of the facts you just brought up. I think they would have to add a bunch more scenes if they kept that one scene.
Right.
Seamus! Seamus! You do know what you're doing, don't you?
I mean, yeah, he does. He's blown things up in his face for 7 years. That's kind of cool to see them kind of setting up what will be them blowing up the bridge. Obviously, that scene's not necessary, though.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of funny seeing all the green and, like, how that's actually how they filmed it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have, like, the special effects. But, yeah, it didn't have much meaning to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You shouldn't have! It's Teddy who needs you.
He'll sleep till dawn and snore like his father. It's you that needs me tonight.
This is the first time I'm going to say this for the deleted scenes we've seen so far. They should have kept that one in.
I agree. They should have kept that in, because not only you see more of their relationship, which you don't see at all throughout the movie, except for that one part where they announce they're having a baby.
Yeah,
and it
like
gets,
tiny moment.
Yeah, and it gets cut up.
Yeah.
So it is very nice seeing that, and also it shows that they had the baby.
Yeah.
In the other movie, it was kind of like the announcing, you were like, hey, is it actually? And now they show they had the baby before they die. Because I remember saying when it died, okay, but at least they died together, and the baby, unfortunately, it's very unfortunate the baby had to die, but they didn't have to grow up without parents.
Yep.
And then at the very, very end, that's when they say that they actually had the baby already.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So this would have shown earlier that they had the baby, and then I think it would have hit even harder when they died, because you see their love, and also it is very hard, because like what he said, stay with the baby. Like if I knew you were going to war, I think we would choose one of us to stay home in case something happened, right? But then once you if you went there, then I would be like, but you know what? I can really help him and maybe help him come back. So you would do that.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's so hard to decide because what do? You stay home, but you also want to help them. It shows more of their relationship, that they're parents, that they love each other, and that you would do that in real life.
Absolutely, and I think you hit it right on the head. It would have made their deaths 10 times worse. It would have hit 10 times harder.
Yeah. So,
at least for movie goers.
Yes.
Like, obviously, if you read the books, it hit 10 times harder anyways, but...
Right. Yeah, I agree, because you would have seen just a glimpse of their relationship, and you would have just loved them. It's like they were the couple and then they died together.
Exactly.
Nighty night.
That was so close.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like a filler scene. Like, not necessary at all, just showing how Draco actually got them. But with everything that was going on during that moment in the movie, I think that was the last thing on people's minds. Like, oh, wait, what if they were in the cell, how could they? I don't think anyone was thinking that, so...
Yeah, I don't even remember that they were locked in a cell. I really don't remember that. When I saw that scene of them running and Draco grabbed them, I just thought because there's a word going on outside, they were running to escape or survive or whatever, and then he grabbed them, and then they went to the next scene. So I didn't really think about that. So yeah, I agree with you. It was more of a filler.
Exactly, yeah.
Hermione? Yes? There's something I need to tell you. I don't want you to say anything that you wouldn't say if you weren't about to be killed by a giant snake.
I like the scene. I do, don't get me wrong. It was showing a little humor to their relationship. Because, like, don't tell me you love me in this moment, because when the moment's over, you might feel differently and regret that you said it. So, like, that's funny. That's good. But obviously not needed. In that moment, I don't think humor would have been a good fit.
Yeah, I think especially that late in the movie, you were so on the edge of your seat. Like, you were just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? It was so intense, and Harry was fighting, and they were trying to kill the snake. So I think you're right. Humor would have been like, oh,
yeah,
and then back to intense.
Exactly. I think you would have, as a moviegoer, I think you would just kind of brush it off. You'd be like, haha, okay. Like, let's get back to the action.
Yeah.
They didn't die in vain. But you will. Because you're wrong. Potter!
So I'm a little confused, just with... so that was Draco running.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume since he yelled Potter, he was running to Potter.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened there.
I don't know what his purpose was. Like, why would he run and yell Potter? Like
it was, yeah, like I agree with you. I assume it was to help him. But my only issue with that, if that is what happened there, that would have been a little late to stand up to Voldemort. Just because that moment where his dad is calling him, when he's already on Harry's side. To me, that would have been the perfect moment to say, you know what, I've had enough of this. No, I'm staying on this side. This is what I believe in.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been the moment, but he already caved in and went to his parents to just flip it again.
Yeah, and run, and there's nothing he can really do.
Yeah.
So it would have been very random for me and just confused him, like, why did he do that?
Well, why did he even cross to go over to them if he was just gonna cross again? What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's only a second, so we can't really judge this scene. We don't really know much about it. But from what we see, you're right. Like, that would have been the moment for him to stand up if he was gonna do it.
We could totally be wrong, like what my wife just said. We're just judging it off of that second deleted clip scene. So if we misread it, please let us know in the comments below and let us know actually what happened. Except for the Lupin and Tonks one, the rest of them kind of makes sense why they were deleted. They didn't really have a place in the movie. Okay guys, that was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 deleted scenes. Thank you so much for joining us. We have so much more coming. We have Back to the Future series that we're going to be starting, and we're absolutely stoked for.
Very excited.
Very excited. So please stick with us for that. And we just have so much more going on. Please check out our Patreon, where we have extended reactions, early access to our reactions, behind the scenes, like just so many perks for you guys. So please check that out. The link is in our channel bio. And always make sure to like and subscribe. Your support always means so much to us. And, you know, we're just excited for what's to come.
Yeah. You said it all.
And we'll catch you on the next one.